Hi everyone, let's go over some of the basics of Tinkercad. If there's anything I do not cover in this short video, feel free to use Google. That is a great place to find information. For example, when I want to know how to combine objects, I usually will Google and say Tinkercad combine objects, and I'll get a video, which is very helpful. So to get started in Tinkercad, the best way that I go about it is I start with the work plane at a certain angle. So this is the work plane. It is what your printed object will sit on. So when you notice and look at a 3D printer, there is a plate there. That's exactly what this work plane is. So your 3D object needs to sit on this plane. So to get the work plane to rotate, what I usually end up doing is holding down on the control key of my keyboard, pressing down on the trackpad with my thumb, and then using my index finger or pointer finger and drag that pointer finger around, and it will maneuver the work plane to different settings. I would suggest starting with that practice because that will make a lot of things easier as you're combining objects and so on. If you struggle with it, this box over here is also helpful. You can click and drag to where you want it to be. So you can use that box as well. But give that a try. To add to Tinkercad, you have several shapes over here under this drop down arrow. So anything from a triangle, sphere, pyramid, and so on. So when you click to drag an object, I'm just going to grab the cylinder. You click down on it and drag. It will go on the plane. Now right now I don't know what it looks like, so that's why I mentioned rotating the plane. I'm going to rotate to see that it's sitting on it, to see what it looks like, and move around. When I click on the object, several boxes come up, black and white. They call these handles. When I click on one, it will make something bigger. I just click and drag and it changes the size. The black, the same way, it just changes things differently. Now the little cone is different because it will move things up and down. So I'm going to change my rotation so that you can see the cone up at the top moves it up and down. And we definitely want to make sure it doesn't go below the plane. Make sure that it's above. I want it to sit on the plane. All right. And if you notice, it zoomed out a little bit. I didn't mean to do that, so if I click over here to zoom in, it will zoom in a little bit more. The arrows down below, the double-sided arrows, allow you to rotate the object, so you'll hold down on those arrows and it will rotate it around. The easiest way to learn all these little features here is just to click and drag and play with it. I sometimes forget what does this do, and then I'll just click on it and see what happens. So that's one of the ways to make or to learn how to do all these little things. If you notice the color's orange, you may not be an orange fan, so you can click here and change the color to like blue. But I will tell you, when you 3D print, you can only print one color. So if you decide to add a box and it's red, you can change it to a different color, but when you go to print, they're all going to be one color.